Welcome back to the Recomp Room. I'm Jen Kersten, and today we are going to talk about being addicted to fitness or addicting to starting your fitness goals. I want you to sit back and think about the last time you were genuinely excited about your fitness. Like, really think about it. Was it when you were 3 months in and quietly showing up on a Tuesday because it was just what you do now? Or was it Sunday night with a new plan in your hand and a Costco receipt on the counter? Yeah, I know that one. And I've been there. We need to talk about what you're actually addicted to because at this point in time, if that's you, it's not fitness. I think it's the idea of starting and romanticizing the plan. So let's talk about this, the all or nothing identity. All or nothing isn't just a habit. It's actually an identity. It's the way you relate to your body, your food, and your training for so long that it doesn't even feel like a pattern anymore. It just feels like who you are. Either you're fully in, tracking everything, hitting every workout, dialed on your food, feeling like the most disciplined version of yourself, or you've completely self-abandoned. Not modifying, not scaling back, not doing the 80% version, full out, waiting for the next on-ramp. And the on-ramp always looks the same. It's a Monday, it's a January, it's a new coach, it's a new program. It's the reset after a holiday or the vacation or the hard month. It's the new shiny plan. And I can relate to this because I remember this like bubble up of excitement I used to get every time I would get a new plan or hire a new coach. Like this was going to be the one. This, and there was so much anticipation and excitement around the plan, but that's when it burst. Here's something I've watched hundreds of times in my coaching career. As a woman comes to me, she's super fucking frustrated. She's been stuck. She's ready to roll. We build her plan together. And in the first week, she is on it. The energy is high. The check-ins are detailed. She's asking questions. She's engaged. She is like your dream fucking client. Week 3, she's still going, but the shine is wearing off a little. Week 6, it's getting hard to hear that we're staying the course, okay? This is where when I say no change is good change, and they're like, ugh, what? No change is good change? Like, shouldn't we be like spicing it up a little bit here because the plan isn't new anymore, okay? This is where this like, I'm bored mindset starts kicking in. And a plan that isn't new doesn't give you that hit of dopamine that you are looking for. Here's what I need you to understand. That excitement you feel at the start is not motivation. I know you think it is, but it's novelty. And the novelty always wears off every single time for every single person. This isn't like a you problem. This is a human brain problem. The women who change their bodies are not the ones who found a way to stay excited, okay? They're actually the ones that learn how to fundamentally work through boredom. They're the ones who figured out how to show up even when the excitement has left. And then there's always like romanticizing the plan. Okay. The plan feels incredible before you execute it. And like if you are somebody who's A-type driven, the more detailed, the more elaborate, the more spreadsheets, the more like intense it is, the more you've bought in. Okay. The more you're like, oh my gosh, this is like so perfect for me. It's clean, it's organized, it's full of possibility, and it hasn't failed yet. You got your workouts mapped, your food prepped, your week blocked off. And while you're doing all of that, you feel like the most together version of yourself you've been in a while. And that feeling, my friends, is absolutely real. But here's what's actually happening. Your brain is getting the reward before it has done the work. The planning feels like progress, so your brain treats it like progress. And then Tuesday happens and you're tired and something goes sideways and the plan is now imperfect. And an imperfect plan feels like a failed plan. So you stop. You stop dead in your tracks and you wait for the next shiny one. Or you tell yourself you just have to wait for motivation. This is not a discipline problem. This is a perfectionist dressed up as a planning problem. You are not addicted to getting fit. You are addicted to the feeling of being about to get fit. And those are two very, very different things. So, what does consistency actually look like? I'm going to tell you something that is like not sexy, but those of us who've been in the trenches for a long period of time know this, okay? Long-term results live in the boring middle. They really do. I've been training for 30 years, and I'll be telling you right now, I do not show up to the gym 80% of the time excited. I show up to the gym 80% of the time knowing that this is what's going to make me feel best. And I just execute. Once I get into it, am I into the workout? Absolutely. Are there days where I'm going through the motions? Absolutely that too. But do I show up 80% of the time excited and full of life and just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get it? No, I'm just there to do the work. It's not about resetting. It's not about firing at all cylinders. It's just like in this boring middle and just doing the work. The Tuesday you didn't want to train and you trained anyways, okay? The day you were tired, but you went in anyhow. The month nothing felt exciting and you showed up because it was just what you do now, right? So you are in that same position as I talked about in another podcast where you are like creating dirty reps of just showing up when it's boring. And that's actually where the body changes. That's where the metabolism repairs. That's where you build a body you can actually live in 365, not a version that exists for 8 weeks before the wheels completely and utterly fall off. There's a version of you that can go on vacation and come back. There's a version of you that can have a hard month and not disappear. There's a version of you that doesn't need a perfect week or to see results to prove to themselves that it's worth keeping going. And that's a whole other conversation for a whole other podcast. But the version of you that needs to be consistent has to understand that boring is a part of the process. And you cannot get there if you keep abandoning ship the moment the plan stops feeling new and exciting. Like if you are running your fitness goals on emotion, you will never get to where you want to be. And this happens for those of you who even have a coach. And in fact, like I would say, one of the biggest struggles in a coaching relationship can be understanding this dynamic of sometimes no change is good change. Just for like some reflection here, I've had clients who I've helped get ready for bodybuilding shows like bikini preps or figure preps, where I will give them one or two dietary changes the whole entire prep. They might run one training program the whole prep or get two different training programs over a 16, 20 week prep. Why? Because in that time, they are creating dirty reps where they can actually get stronger, understand their program, and I can actually see data build within their body. So, anyways, off my soapbox there. We'll get into that another day. I'm going to call myself out here too. Like, because this happens inside the coaching relationship all the time and nobody wants to talk about it, we got to talk about it, okay? You hire a coach, you get your plan, and you are super fucking fired up. The first few weeks are great because everything is new and you're learning and there's momentum, okay? And then the plan does what good plans do. It gets stupidly consistent because consistency is actually the point. And suddenly you want to change things. You want to add something, swap something, start fresh with a new approach, not because the plan isn't working, because the plan isn't exciting anymore. And excitement has become the thing you're chasing instead of results. Here's what I tell my clients when you hit that wall and they start messaging me about, I think we need to change things up. I just need you to motivate me more. I just need a new shiny plan. And they don't say shiny plan. They say like, shouldn't we have my body guessing or shouldn't we be changing it up right now? But their biofeedback, the things that are important, such as their mood, their energy, their sleep cycle, their hormones, their metabolism, their digestion, everything's improving. But suddenly they want to shift the dial because that excitement has worn off. The hitting the wall is not a sign that something is wrong. The wall is actually telling you that something is working. Everyone will fucking hit it at one point. The ones who get through it, okay, the ones who don't stop after 16 weeks, the ones who don't give up 8 weeks in or 4 weeks in, the ones who don't get upset because nothing's changing, they're the ones who get through it. And they're the ones who come out on the other side with progress. If you're always starting over, you never get to find out what happens when you stay. I want you to like really consider this right now. If you are always starting over, you never get to find out what happens when you stay. Like actually like absorb that for a bit. And this one is like really bad for women who, I wouldn't say really bad, but it's definitely a trait for women who compete or have competed because of that all or nothing mindset and the fact that, for 16, 20 weeks at a certain time in their life, they were able to eat, like basically rabbit food and run their body into the ground. And so their mindset is like, I can do anything in a short term time capsule. So why can't I stay motivated for this? And if I'm not staying motivated for this, then something's wrong? So here's what the actual shift needs to look like. Here's what changes this. Stop treating excitement, the motivation of excitement, as a requirement. You do not need to be excited to show up. You just need to commit yourself. Those are not the same thing. Excitement is a feeling. Commitment is a decision you make in advance. And here's the other thing I want to add a layer into this. If there's something going on with your body right now, your hormones are dysregulated, your digestion's off, your immune system's off, your personal relationships are off, and you've got all these like moving pieces in the background that are telling you that you're going to wait someday to start, you got to lower the fucking bar. Okay? You need to lower the fucking bar and do the messy action. Lower the bar on purpose, okay? Not because you're copping out, but as a fucking reality check. A workout you actually do at 60% is worth more than a perfect workout you keep delaying. Make the standard something you can hit when life is hard, not when all the stars align and everybody's in your corner, okay? And you've got this perfect hormonal profile and everything's great and your mental health's in the most perfect spot. Separate the planning from the doing. And if you're somebody who struggles to stay organized and has like their mind wanders in a million different places, you can also get stuck in this where you're like, well, I'll do this, and that first, and then I'll get to this, and that first because you're just into next because you're just like in this like constant combustion of like 150 or zero, 150 or zero. You need to find the middle ground. And so you got to start calendaring yourself in, okay? And just do the dirty reps of showing up and doing the things even when you're not feeling like it's all functionally organized and perfect. Separate planning from doing. Planning feels like doing, it's not doing, okay? Give yourself a time limit on the plan and then go execute it from an imperfect version of it, okay? The plan is supposed to serve the work, it is not the work. Track what you did, not what you didn't. Most women in the all or nothing cycle are tracking failure. Okay, so in their mind, it's about what they didn't do. 3 missed sessions, 4 days off. Start tracking what you did do. Okay, start mastering and adding the wins to the dirty reps. Okay, 2 workouts is 2 more than 0. That is the data that builds momentum. And that's what I keep telling my clients. And some get it, some don't. And I think it's so important to like really understand that when you are working, well, with me, for example, and I can't speak for other coaches, but for me, like when I give somebody a plan and they don't dial in 100%, this is information for me. This isn't judgment. This is actually information so that in the foundational phase of coaching, we can actually build a plan that they can actually execute. Because a lot of the time, someone will go hire me as their coach and they'll be like, in this hormonal chaos and this like really like bad planning mode. And they are going like 100, they're like, I'll go 6 days a week. I'll do whatever you tell me to eat tilapia and fish and I'll eat it every day. And you're like, there's no fucking way you can do that. So this is actually like real-time coaching when you are what you think failing and not hitting all the mark, but you are actually collecting that data and sharing it with me as your coach. Okay. When you are always tracking failure, you're not stacking your wins, okay? Again, and I've said this time and time again, and I'll continue to say it, stack your motherfucking wins, okay? That's what you need to be doing. When the shine wears off, stay in it. Stay in the dirty, ugly mess because the dirty, ugly mess is where you actually make the most progress. That's it. Like that's the whole thing. When it stops feeling exciting and starts feeling like maintenance, stay there because that's exactly where it starts working. Okay, so let's wrap this up. The plan is not the goal. The plan is supposed to serve the goal. Okay, when the plan becomes the thing you're attached to, you stop the moment it stops feeling perfect. And the plan always stops feeling perfect because life is not a controlled environment and your body is not a spreadsheet. The goal is to keep going anyway. On the days it's boring, on the days it's hard, on the days it feels exciting, and you do it because it's just what you do now, even in excitement. That is what builds a body you can live in, okay? Not a Sunday reset, not a shiny new plan, not a knee-jerk reaction because you stepped on the scale and you're like, holy fuck, I don't like this number. Not the Monday that was supposed to be different. The Wednesday when everything was messy and you showed up anyways. That's the work. It's not glamorous. It doesn't make a great Instagram caption. And that's the thing, right? If you are a constant scroller looking for that dopamine hit of excitement and motivation, this one is really hard for you because you actually buy into this idea that all of these Instagram influencers or any TikTok influencers are like constantly showing up excited in the perfect outfit with the perfect body and the perfect life and all these like perfect things that you believe, which is actually all bullshit. Half of them are broke, half of them have eating disorders, half of them have poor, relationships going on. And you don't even know the surface of it. You are literally just looking at a photo or a reel and being like, that person has it all together. I should wake up feeling like them. And you don't. And then you're like, something's wrong with me. No, nothing's wrong with you. You just haven't accepted the boring work. You are not broken because you can't stay excited forever. Okay. Nobody stays excited forever. The ones who change are the ones who stopped waiting to feel ready and started showing up anyways. Please go be one of those people. Until next time, everyone.